And put it upar and put it down. Okay, that's me smiling. Today I'm coming to you from planet Earth. Episode 7, Anatomy of a Riot. So this is me talking about life, experiences, cinema, and hopefully not in a way in which it'll pakao you. So this is Mad-Vani again, coming to you from planet Earth. And let's talk today about today I'm going to talk about how to choreograph riots and crowds, which is also what I did in Nirja with 250 passengers, and over here sometimes there were 400 people in The Waking of a Nation, which is on Sony Live. I hope you've seen it. I hope you like it. I keep being told that, the way that the riots are, it feels so real and it doesn't feel choreographed. It's because I believe actually, but I believe that shoots are not shot on the shooting day. I believe that films are not made at shoots. I believe that films are made in air-conditioned conference rooms. So I do a lot of planning. I do a lot of discussion. I think people who give me repeat purchase and who work with me know that my pre-prod planning and discipline is very, very frying. Still, I think when they're working with me, they never want to work with me again. And after they've stopped working with me, then they want to work with me again. I don't know why that happens, but a lot of the time, I now have t-shirts which say, I survived Ram. Basically what I do in my prep is that, especially when I'm working with crowds, my background is not my background. My junior artists are not my junior artists. My background is my foreground. My junior artists are my senior artists. That is really the people who I devote a lot of time to. So the first thing that I do is I have a cheat sheet. If it's 350 people, I have all their photographs and I have all their names, and thanks to my team, they put it up there. And so sometimes I will not, I refuse to say bhai log. I refuse to say, hey, udhar se. I don't do any of that. I'll say, hey, and I'll say, who's the guy in the third row? And there'll be somebody over there. I'll say, Sushant, bahut acha expression tha yaar. And Sushant will suddenly say, what? He knows my name. And then suddenly people will, sort of say this, and there's a motivational kind of thing that I do before the shoot, where in Nirja I got, thank you, Amir Khan, he came, Anil Kapoor came, Baman came, Vidya Balan came, and Raju Hirani came. They all came there to motivate my 250 passengers. And now for Waking of a Nation, I had Comic Singh, who came there to motivate and inspire the actors, to basically tell them, this is what you're going to be doing. This is what the show is about. So that they come 3 or 4 days before and they understand, and you have actually percolated inside them, just like filter coffee. You actually make them believe and you indoctrinate them in a way in which they understand what they're doing. And a lot of the time, my associate directors in The Waking of a Nation, I had, there was Amit, there was Rajiv, there was Nitin, and they were there to make sure that my crowd were taken through the background of what happened. Then there is, apart from that, I respect them so much that I will take them through their characters. The first thing that I do is I do a pre-vis. And here you will see the pre-vis. You'll see how we'll do it as dots, and you will see that they're meant to, some people from here, some people from there. My associate director, along with my action directors, who's Amritpal Singh and Florian, they were there to actually choreograph this, so that they've actually been through it along with the DOP, who's looking at camera positions, and you can see how you can move from here to there. And so you can, as you're watching this, you'll realize that that is the floor plan. Then that floor plan we then take and we do it as a rehearsal 3 or 4 days with, again, 300 people. And you'll see that now with ladders instead of the statue. And you'll see the way that actually that from script, which is very, very clearly written by Shantanu and Shatrujit. You can see it on paper. And here we can see a cut of that. Cut to the previous of that, cut to the rehearsal of that, cut to the actual doing of it. Of course, one of the problems was sometimes that if you rehearse with 300 people, they would not land up the next day. So it was quite frustrating for the associate directors to be again taking them through it. But let's say that the real-time riot is 10 minutes. Okay, so I then shoot the real-time riot. And then there would be a 1 hour reset or a 45-minute reset, and then again do another 10-minute take, and there'd be another 45-minute reset and do another 10-minute take. So in 3 takes, I'm done with different camera positions. But what is happening is that you're capturing it raw. My DOPs, all 4 of them women, hats off to them, because they sometimes were wearing helmets, because when you're with, like, a stick, when you're hitting somebody, which is actually, it's not a real stick, it's made out of, whatever, some kind of fake kind of thing, but it looks real. But still, when you're hitting somebody like this, when you take your hand back, and you don't realize when you're taking your hand back that there's somebody behind you. So we did have our DOPs who were like really tough, and hats off to them, because they went into the crowd to capture the actual feeling of how a documentary feeling of a riot would be. There was a movie called Detroit, which we also reference a lot. And our reference points, actually, when we were looking at the riot sequence, was a film called The Battle of Algiers. Great film. I'm nowhere near that in our execution. I don't know how they've done it. They, in fact, had to put a super which said that this is not a documentary. But I'm getting better at, sort of capturing the rawness and the reality of how do you, choreograph and yet not choreograph real life, and yet make it completely safe, of course, because that is safety first. So to my team, to my associates, to my action, directors who really pulled this off. So salute. On the choreographing of a riot, which I know is a more an internal kind of thing, but when you see it, the whole point of it is that you can actually be inside it rather than watching it from the outside. So that's the reason to try and get to realism and truth, which is really what I'm trying to get to, which I'm failing a lot, but I try, and I shall talk about success and failure soon in Let's Talk Returns.